I have a chapter on this in the book, and I talk about how the most manic of these individuals are, according to research, are incredibly antisocial. And they can't tell if it's the chicken or the egg. Is it their own beliefs and ideologies that make them antisocial, or is it something about them that makes them that way? And when you look at what's going on in the streets of Portland and Seattle, there is a mental issue going on there. They do not seem stable. So I think that these are people that have lost contact with their loved ones, their family. I don't think these are people that come home for Thanksgiving and help with the turkey.
So as a guy that just wrote a self-help, it's a self-help mockery in a way, but it is self-help at the same time. What do you think it is about that type? Like, what do you think the dividing line is between a type of person who wants to take care of themselves and their life versus the type of person that wants to, because we see so much of this everywhere, just take out other people?
Well, I have a chapter on this in the book, and I talk about how the most manic of these individuals are, according to research, are incredibly antisocial. And they can't tell if it's the chicken or the egg. Is it their own beliefs and ideologies that make them antisocial, or is it something about them that makes them that way? And when you look at what's going on in the streets of Portland and Seattle, there is a mental issue going on there. They do not seem stable. So I think that these are people that have lost contact with their loved ones, their family. I don't think these are people that come home for Thanksgiving and help with the turkey, right? I think that their joy in life is to humiliate and attack and have you hear their screams and their cries. I do think that we're living in an age of hysteria. And I think it's also bleeding into other certain segments that I can't even talk about. Certain activists who do not represent the people they claim to. There's a great clip of this African-American cop in Portland talking about how a black activist came up to him and said, "Hey, how do you feel about George Floyd?" As he's talking, a white leftist female comes over and goes, "Don't talk to him." She's telling a black woman not to talk to him. And you realize, okay, this is a mental issue. This is so I think that you almost have to pull them out of this cult. You and I aren't in cults because the measure of a cult is the ability to admit when you're wrong. Like, I admit I'm wrong on at least once or twice a year. No, once or twice, like pretty regularly.
Not only do you admit, Greg, not only do you admit you're wrong, can you tell the good people what happened this very week on the Greg Gutfeld show with you and cows? You made a major admission.
Yes, emission, nice one. Or omission, emission.
Yes. That might have been a Freudian slip.
I've noticed this, that we all have, and even Adams has said this, but he won't admit what mistakes, that we have these like really embarrassing things that we won't voice because we're embarrassed. For example, in Seinfeld, it was George Costanza didn't want to go to a flea market because he thought there were fleas. I always thought that. I thought that too. There were flea markets in Belmont, California, and my friends were wanting to go. I go, I'm not going there because I thought fleas. So I have two idiotic beliefs in the last month that I've talked about. One on the 5, I thought veal was a separate animal. I didn't know that it was like a baby cow. No idea. I thought like when you order veal, it's like ordering lamb, or it's just a different animal. So that's embarrassing. But I didn't know that cows were only female. I thought that a cow was just like there was a male cow. So that's stupid. But it's like I don't mind confessing that I know these things. I'm an idiot because I know for a fact that everybody feels that way. I mean, there are people that think that there might be 52 states because they get confused between a deck of cards and the United States, and also you have those 2 states that are outside. Sometimes I'm going like, is it 52 or 50? 52 or 50? I should check because I get confused. Is it 48 plus 2? It's 48 plus 2. Also, there are things like when you think about geography in general that you can get stuff totally wrong because you kind of skipped over it and somebody could trick you into thinking that something was part of something when it really wasn't. There are parts of Europe that I might have thought were parts of other places.
But is all of that really just because everyone seems to pretend that they know everything at all times?
Yes.
Net neutrality was going to kill everybody.
Yes.
Soleimani's death was going to start World War III.
Yes.
You know, there's the Russia thing, the Ukraine thing, with the Iran nuclear deal. People who have no jobs, people who can't get their lives together, but they know everything about string theory and economic policy and everything else.
Yes, I try to do that. You know who knows I'm convinced who knows everything according to his fans is John Oliver. Man, did you see his 30-minute on net neutrality? It'll change your life. It's like, no thanks. Yeah. I'd rather be ignorant. I don't think I need to know 30 minutes on net neutrality because I know where it's going to end up, in the same place. It always does. And to your point, it's always the same place. I think it's helpful, like string theory. This is the blessing and curse of podcasts, that you could do your curriculum. I'm going to learn about quantum physics, quantum mechanics, or quantum gravity. Put quantum in front of everything, and suddenly people are like, "Ooh, who is this guy?" But I enjoy Quantum Leap. Yes, I love that actor. There was Scott Bakula.
Scott Bakula, and the other guy,
who played Booth, who played Mr. Booth in Blue Velvet, who was the boy with green hair. The boy, remember the movie Boy with Green Hair?
He was in Air Force One. I just watched it this weekend.
He's oh God, jeez Louise. If only somebody here could Google the boy with green hair. Did you see that movie as a kid? Do you ever see that movie? There's a boy who wakes up with green hair.
I don't think I've seen it. That's very scary.
Amazing. I saw it as a child. Probably came out in the 1940s, 1950s. But the guy we're talking about, Stan, George. We should do a whole
You know what I'm going
hour
to do? Wait, Greg, watch this. I'm going to do something. I've never done this on my show before, but my director is remote right now. He's in my ear. Matt, I want you to Google the actor that we're talking about. He was in Quantum Leap. He was not Scott Bakula, but the other guy, and apparently he had green hair as a child. Can you get me that actor's name? This is the most cable news I've ever been right now.
Yeah, and he was the guy that ran the bordello in
Dean Stockwell.
Dean Stockwell. I hope he's still alive. Dean Stockwell. Did you ever see Blue Velvet?
Wait, hold on. Let me go back to the control room. Matt, is Dean Stockwell still alive?
Yes.
Stand by. Greg?
I hope he is. Still alive? No?
Wow, he's 84 and still alive, at least as of this taping.
Road trip. We are going on a Dean Stock. I have to ask you, because my favorite movie of all time is Blue Velvet. And Dean Stockwell's character was the guy that ran the whorehouse that Dennis Hopper came to. And it's one of the greatest scenes in any movie. Anyway, that's you look like you've not seen Blue Velvet.
I haven't seen it, believe it or not. But Gutfeld, I got to tell you, I love you, but your movie recommendations over the last couple of months have really been disastrous. I'm texting you one morning. I'm like, I don't know what we're going to watch tonight. I've watched everything. You're like, you got to watch The Color of Something with Nick Cage. I got brain damage in the middle of the movie. It was that horrible.
Whoa. So wait a minute. That's the Protocol with Nicolas Cage.
The Color of Space.
No, not The Color of Space. It's a remake. The officer. I can't swear right now because of you.
No, you can swear. Swear. People will like it.
Okay. So it was a remake of a Harvey Keitel movie, but it really wasn't. And it's called Protocol, and it's by the guy who did Grizzly Man. The director who did Grizzly Man, Werner Herzog did it. And it's called Cop, Officer, Bad Lieutenant, Protocol. And it's got iguanas in it. How could you not love that movie? Nick Cage, it's one of Nick Cage's best films. Nick Cage, also, if you've ever seen, you didn't like Mandy, did you? Mandy, where
I tried to watch that because of you too. I watched it for about a half hour and I couldn't take it anymore. I was sitting in a pool of my own vomit. And I thought, Gutfeld?
That's Wednesday.
All right, wait. This is what you call a tangent. This is the beauty of YouTube, that you don't have the luxury as a cable news host to do these things. Actually, I wanted to ask you about something somewhat serious, actually, because just in the last couple days, Tucker did this end of the show monologue about what the New York Times is doing to him, and they've basically threatened to dox him. They already did one version of this, and we know that people have shown up at his house before and all that. I feel that this is the next level of where this is all going, that they've said it's okay to burn down stores, violence isn't violence, words are violence, but violence isn't, it's very confusing. But the next level of this will be that it will be something to the effect of, can Republicans go to public places?
Right.
And can Republicans have homes that are not doxxed? Are you worried about that? Like, what do you make of this thing?
I'm worried in a number of ways that I've actually acted on it for the last couple of years. Actually, I've acted on certain things for safety reasons, and we've talked about that before. I find it interesting that all the things that you talked about are okay, but they're charging that couple for brandishing that weapon when the mob broke down the gate and was in front of their house. So they're actually telling you, not only can you be threatened, not only can your public and private property be vandalized, but you cannot defend yourself.
If you're looking for more honest and thoughtful conversations about politics instead of nonstop yelling, check out our politics playlist. And if you want to watch full interviews on a variety of topics, watch our full episode playlist, all right over here. And to get notified of all future videos, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell.